Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to Does Boxing. We're back again with another rankings show. We got the WBO rankings, fresh off the presses. We want to tap in with it, see what we got. Salute to everybody coming through the building. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe. Salute to playback as well. I appreciate you guys coming through the building after the fact. It's all love. All right, we'll do a screen share. We go to the WBO website. That's why I get the latest and greatest on the rankings. They come out like the first week, first couple of days of the month. So we're gonna tap in. Start with the heavyweight division. We know we got Daniel Dubois is the heavyweight champ, WBO champ. We waiting to see when they're gonna do that rematch with Fabio Worley. He activated his rematch clause, but I'm not sure when they're gonna do that fight. I'm guessing towards the end of the year. Um, yeah, towards the end of the year. I know they did a good event and stuff like that. It was a high drama fight. Um, my man Worley took a lot of punishment, so we'll have to see. Moses Atama is number one. So Moses is the mandatory in the WBO, WBA, and he has an option to fight for the vacant IBF title. He's still on the schedule to fight Philip Herkovich at the end of the month, August 29th. So that fight is effectively an eliminator because he's number one basically across the board. So if he get past Herkovich, he's gonna fight for a world title, no doubt. Excuse me. It just depends on which route excuse me he actually go. You know what I'm saying? Because being with Dubois, that's the fight he asked for, right? They're on the same side. It should be an easy fight to be made, depending on what happened with the Worley situation. He's mandatory for Gassiev. Gassiev just made a defense, so maybe he go that route. So he gonna have options, yo. He gonna have to pick one though, and the vacant IBF. So that's a straight shot at a world title. And he can become champion. So yeah, Atama's in a good spot. He just gotta keep winning. I found it funny that they put Usyk number two. It's funny seeing him in the rankings after being undisputed and unified for so long. But they got him number two. I don't think that really mean nothing. I won't go crazy over that. He already said what he's trying to do. He's trying to cash out. He gave up the. It really don't make sense to give up the rest of your belts. Give up your belts and then go after the WBO. You know what I'm saying? You might as well just keep the Ring magazine and keep it pushing. He's talking about trying to fight Wilder. I know Wilder had got some injuries and shit like that, so we'll see. AJ and Fury supposed to fight. You know, they both look. You know what I'm saying? They both faded. Haven't heard much on Joseph Parker. I know he tested positive for cocaine. We haven't heard much. Joe he may get the vacant IBF title fight against Sanchez. It depends on what Moses does. If Moses go a different route, like the WBA or WBO, then Joe is like the next guy in line when they're going through the rankings to fight Sanchez. They go Sanchez at number 8. Down at the bottom, we have a new entry. Brandon B.Y. Jennings, he's in the rankings. He ain't been in the rankings in forever. But the reason why is because he's about to fight Brandon Moore, number 14. They're going to fight August 29th on the Salida show in Detroit. So, I mean, I guess the winner of this can put themselves in position, you know what I'm saying, to possibly get a world title shot. I know Moses Atama was talking about coming to the U.S. and fighting. So, there you go. That may be one of the opponents that he can fight just to make his U.S. debut. So we'll see. Interesting times in the heavyweight division. A lot of turnover since Usyk vacated his belts. So yeah. Cruiserweight. My bro Mike in the building. What's good? Salute to you. Cruiserweight division. We got unified champ David Benavidez, WBO and WBA. So he's looking to fight the WBC champ in a 3-belt unification. Noel McKayla. That supposed to be in the fall, November, November, December. So yeah, Benavidez is one of the best in the game. Look like he's going to stay up there. That'd be 2 fights in a row at cruiserweight. So the longer he stay at cruiserweight, the harder it's going to get. Oh yeah, he got stopped last night. Yeah, maybe go back to the drawing board. He's still a young fighter. He can bounce back. Roman Reigns is number one, but I'm not sure if he's actually the mandatory. A lot of these guys be number one, but it don't necessarily mean they're the mandatory. They gotta meet a certain criteria based on the WBO. Robin Safar, he's number two. He's with Golden Boy. Not sure what he has next. I see the job of Taya is coming back on the Ryan Garcia and Conor Ben card. No reason why he should be trading like that. Yeah, I mean it happens to a young fighter. Yeah, young fighter. He can go back to the drawing board. Maybe they can look. A lot. This shit used to happen all the time back in the day. It's just now everything is broadcast. He can go back to the drawing board, take a rest, get his medical straight, and then come back and maybe in a less profile position, and then he'll be back. What's up with Haney Davis? Fight completely as off. Um, we got Mike Perez. He's gonna fight on the Moses undercard. He's facing Juniors Alois. That should be a good fight right there. That might be a banger. David Naika is fighting this week coming up. He's fighting the IBF Eliminator against Floyd Masson. Who else got some? Vidal Riley's supposed to get the winner of that for the vacant IBF, and then we know Jabba Taya is suing the IBF, so still more to follow on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Light heavyweight Dimitri Bivol is unified. He just coming off elbow surgery. He said he'll be back in December. He supposed to fight his mandatory interim champ Callum Smith. Callum Smith been out the ring for a long time. Uh, yeah, bro. I don't even know. Because I'm not even so sure that fight gonna happen. Bivol and Smith, we still can get the trilogy between Bivol and Viterbo. So we'll have to see. We got Bawaxi, Willie Hutchinson in there. Those are good fighters. Hot Rod Kalajic, that's Zuffa boxing. He might be fighting for the vacant Zuffa title at light heavyweight. Connor Wallace is facing Ben Whitaker October the 3rd. That's an IBF eliminator. So Ben Whitaker can be in a position to fight for a world title real soon. That's a solid fight. Zach Chelly, coming off a knockout win over Morrell. 14 and 15. Najee Lopez is facing Juan Carrillo August 29th. That's a good fight. Carrillo just entered the new ranking, so they'll have some regional titles on the line. I know the WBA, they both rated in the WBA. So, yeah, pretty much the winner of Lopez and Carrillo can be in a position for like a title eliminator or possibly a world title fight. Which unification is more likely? Uh, Probably Mason versus Peta. It look like Mortala is on his way up to 140. All right. Or maybe Floyd Schofield if he wins the WBA and him and Zapata. That's an in-house unification. 168, we have the champ Hamza Shiraz. He defended his title last week against Zuckerhammer. Beat him a pretty, it wasn't his best performance. But know that he fought a southpaw in that fight. So of course, in the new rankings, in the new rankings, you got Janabek, who just vacated his title at middleweight. Now he moving up to 168. Janabek is number two, so he's basically in a mandatory position. I know Canelo number one, but we know Canelo about to fight for the WBC, so he gonna be out the rankings pretty soon. And they're gonna they're gonna look out for Canelo just in case. You know what I'm saying? But don't be surprised if you see the WBO order Janabek versus Shiraz next. Don't be surprised. Pacheco, I did like his performance coming back, a couple of weeks ago. Let's see what they do for him. Maybe Jose Resendez makes sense, I guess. Jacob Bank, he was calling out Shiraz, but Jacob Bank is a good fighter, dark horse in the division. He won a WBC eliminator in April. So maybe he still stick to that. I don't know. It's kind of tied up on both ends. So he's a good fighter. Kevin Saljo, he's 4-0 since December when he lost to Pacheco. He on a nice run. Beck the Bully is the WBA mandatory for Jaime Maguire. Marlon Prince. What's good with you, bro? Salute. Salute to you. So Munguia versus Beck the Bully. That should be happening next. Berlanga, he got a knockout win. He needed that. Resendez would look like a little kid there at Pacheco, bro. They might make that fight. It might make sense for it might make sense. Yeah, he'll form a champ and he can get that under his belt. Let me see. So Berlanga, he's back in the mix. Herbert Conceição, he fights with ProBox. I think he fights September the 11th down in San Diego. Troy Williamson is fighting next week. He got a big fight coming up. He gonna do a rematch with Callum Simpson, who he stopped in December. So let's see if he can repeat. You know what I'm saying, or if Simpson can get his revenge. Um, Middleweight. So Denzel Bentley is the WBO champ. He just got elevated when Janabek moved up. So Bentley, he fought Janabek, and he probably could have won that fight if he would have started early. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited about. That's a good fight. That's a hometown fight for Santillan. Let's see if he can redeem himself. Last time he got stopped there. Tough matchup because Baru can fight. Any idea what happened to? I don't know what happened to it. I have no idea. Maybe they revised that shit after I posted because I was looking for it last night. I was trying to do my matchmaking, but I don't know. Um, So we have number one, Yo Hernandez. He's number one in the WBO and WBA. He's the mandatory for Bentley, but he's taking a fight in 3 weeks on the Rolly and Teofimo card. He's going to face Francisco Verón. So that means Bentley has the opportunity to do a little voluntary. I see Bentley and Adamas is going back and forth on social media. Let's see if they can make that happen. I don't know. I think Tim Zoo Tim Zoo coming in number two. Tim Zoo seems like more realistic than Adamas, and I say that because Tim Zoo, his team, he got the most aggressive matchmaking team in the game. No Limit Promotions are very aggressive with their guys. They'll match up anybody, and they don't mind their guys taking chances. So I can see a world where Tim Zoo and his team reach out to Queensberry and make that fight with Bentley. You know what I'm saying? I can see that. But Bentley is a solid guy, good puncher. And look, Bentley fought one of Tim Zoo's stablemates to become the interim champion. Severia is with No Limit. So they sent them over there. So that's I say that to say this. They have a framework for making business. You know what I'm trying to say? If you already done business with a promoter and you used to it, maybe you can do some more. I won't be surprised if Bentley go down to Australia to fight Tim Zoo. It's a smart move, though. We got the script. Yeah, I be trying to see shit before everybody else do. JC, what's good, bro? Very one. Yeah, it's a fight he can win, especially if he got him in Australia. He just gotta watch out because Bentley can punch. He can punch. Vito, he's gonna face Ammo. That's Vito Ammo. That's September 4th. That's on the Andy Ruiz on the card in New Jersey. Fedor Shakazian. I feel like he should get one of these fights. Fedor Shakazian versus Jahad Tucker kind of makes sense to me based on the rankings. You know what I'm saying? 4 versus number 7. Michael Zarafa is fighting in a couple of next week, the 12th. He's fighting on the Australian card. Terramona's on the card. He just signed with Matchroom. Could you see Ammo? Oh yeah, definitely. Ammo is live in there. Only thing I worry about is the punishment he took in his last fight. You know what I'm saying? And I think I think I said this before on one of my shows. I feel like when I look at that fight, Vito is trending up and Ammo is trending down. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? I go with Vito. Winston Lee, what's good with you, bro? Salute to you. So yeah, that's a top 8 fight, number 3 versus number 8. So yeah, Ammo, he got an opportunity to redeem himself. Brad Paul still in the rankings. Urissa Daniel still there. Ismael Flores, he gonna campaign at 160. He coming off a win over Isaac Lasario. He's a good fighter. George Ladar has a fight coming up. I saw that. one of the Matchroom cards. So that's what it is. 154. Jerron Bruce Ennis, unified champ. Not sure exactly what's next for him. I feel like Josh Kelly is the one. You know what I'm saying? And what solidified it for real, Josh Kelly and Kevin Ajako was a mandatory fight, an early mandatory. So that means the next fight for um, Kelly can be a voluntary, which makes sense and is good for us. The Boost can possibly unify the division, so that'd be 3 belts. So if Kelly if he's good, coming off the injuries to his nose and he got cut up a little bit, then I think those guys are gonna fight the end of the year. I think they're gonna give Boost that 3 belt unification, in my opinion. But we'll see. Xander number 1, but Xander he already the time limit to execute his rematch clause against Boots it passed already. So he's number 1, but don't trip off that. He's not going to campaign at 54 no more. He already turned down his opportunity for a rematch. Or maybe he stay at 54. Maybe he go a different route. Well, shit. All those roads going to lead back to Boots. He need to go to 160. Israel Majimov, haven't heard much from him. Bakram is the IBF mandatory. He just waiting in the wings. Jilvan Santillan, Abbas Baru. Look, yo, the winner of that could be the mandatory. Jilvan Santillan is still with Top Rank, but look, I can see that as a mandatory because peep game. Xander going up to 60. Majimov is inactive. Bakram is an IBF mandatory. Giovanni and Baru is 4 versus number 6. I won't be surprised if one of them jumps to the number 1 spot, especially if it's Santillan because he tapped in with the WBO. Y'all already know what that means. Nikita Zoo, he has an IBF eliminator at the end of the month for the number 2 spot. So, Nikita Zoo is always fun to watch. Number 14, Armel, he's going to fight. He's a WBC mandatory. He's going to fight Fundora October 17th. Rashidi Ellis, Brandon Adams, Michael Fox. We know those names. All right, moving on. 147. So this is the biggest one, the biggest news one right here. So Devin Haney is a WBO champ. We know Keyshawn Davis turned down the opportunity to fight him. I posted this earlier. I talked about this on my live today. Brian Norman is the new number 1 contender. Keyshawn, they dropped him down to number 7. So just because Brian Norman is number 1, that doesn't mean he's a mandatory. So they have to go to the WBO and request to be the mandatory. And also, I can see Devin Haney going to the WBO saying, hey, look, I tried, I did my part. Let me have a voluntary for a bigger fight, get an opportunity to unify. The Leon Paro fight seems to be there because the WBO and IBF are doing a unified convention and they're trying to team up to make more unification between the sanctioned bodies. So Devin Haney and Leon Paro kind of makes sense. But again, we have to see how the negotiations are going to work because Leon Paro is with PBC. You know what I'm saying? So Leon Paro is poised, and he'll probably be in Vegas next week to see what's going on with Teofimo and Rowley, because he's an IBF champ, but he don't have a mandatory yet. He has a mandatory, but it's not due yet. Patty Donovan is his mandatory, but he can do a voluntary. And I can see one of those, the winner between Teofimo and Rowley going down there. If Devin Haney petitioned to the WBO to see if they can do a joint order the IBF and the WBO. I'm not sure how that's going to work with that unified convention they working with, but that's an option for sure. So it's a lot. Look, welterweight is back. You know what I'm saying? It got back kind of quick too. People were shitting on it like 6 months ago, but it's back. Yeah, Hitchens number 3 got tap in. Well, we'll see what that means for him being number 3. I know he took what's the name spot. He was number 11. And Hitchens, the whole thing, him being with Zuffa Boxing, how would that work? Are those guys going to tap in with the WBO and get a license and be in position? I feel like to be honest, why he need to be the mandatory to make that fight? You know what I'm saying? Why you have to be the mandatory to make that fight? Just make the fight because Keyshawn is. It seems like he's not. Well, Keyshawn's not an option no more. Okay. Was you gonna go fight Jack Catterall? You gonna go wait for Teofimo and Rolly? They already that already proves. Maybe he could get that because he's with the zone now. But Hitchens seemed like a fight they can just make without it being a mandatory. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Let's see how that Zuffa boxing shit working. It's better when everybody's working together. That's why I was saying when everybody was talking about, oh, Zuffa coming, it's gonna be one belt, it's gonna be. I was like, nah, it's too much. You got too much shit in the game to take away all the belts, all the relationships, how shit been going. Nah, it's gonna stay the same. So we're gonna see. But Hitchens at number 3, Pacquiao number 4, Barbosa still at 5. So it get interesting. With Brian Norman at number 1, I don't know if they're gonna give him that opportunity to be the mandatory right away. I can see Brian Norman fighting a quote unquote eliminator, probably against one of them top ranked boys, Polanco or Tiger Johnson. I can see that before they say, okay, yeah, okay, there you the mandatory. You know what I'm saying? Um, because a lot of times the WBO don't really do eliminators. They just do. They base your mandatory position based on the criteria that they have. You know what I'm saying? BJ33 in the building. What's good with you, bro? Salute to you. So yeah, if you look at these rankings, it's a lot of good fighters in the welterweight division underneath the big name guys. And we got Ryan Garcia, Conor Ben. That's a big fight in the division coming up. Rolly and Teofimo. It's a big fight in the division, but it's not the best fight. So yeah, a lot of moving and shaking. Paddy Donovan is mandatory. He's going to fight on Cade Taylor's card. He's fighting a southpaw McKenna, Tyrone McKenna. Raul Correa probably should have lost last night. He got a nice little gift. Haven't heard much from Stanionis. Use, number 13. Damn, what card he fighting on? I think he's on Moses' card. Yeah. 140, Shakur Stevenson is a WBO champ. He signed with Zuffa Boxing. Not sure what he's going to do either. He just out there in the wing looking for an opponent, I guess, on social media. We got Emiliano Vargas is number 1, but he's not the mandatory. He probably got to do, I don't know, but he's not the mandatory. He's just number 1. But he will be, you know what I'm saying? He might have to win one more fight, you know what I'm saying? And he might not have to fight like the number 2 or number 3 guy. Well, he might not have to fight them. He probably just have to fight somebody in the top 15 to do that. Rayo for Shakur, I don't know. That's a good fight though. I mean, sure, it could happen. It's not like Rayo is a bum. You know, people was pushing for Shakur to fight Edwin in a rematch, and Rayo smoked him. So, I mean, why not? It's a good fight to be honest with you. But I don't know if that's going to be next. So we have Delgado is about to fight for the vacant IBF against number 8, Arthur Belasanov. That's on Canelo's card. Halloween. Duarte, he's in negotiations with Antoine Russell. That's a good fight. Go ahead and make that. And Nelson Mercado is fighting Tego. Nobody asked for that. He should be fighting one of these top guys right here, to be honest. 140 is too deep for him to be fighting Emmanuel Tego. I'm gonna keep saying that every time I see his name. Adam Azam, stay tuned for some news about him. He should be doing an IBF eliminator. He should, just to get in position to fight the winner between Volosanoff and Delgado. We'll have to see. But I like Adam Azam. Alberto Playo, he's going to UK to fight Dalton Smith for the WBC. That's October. Matisse, former champ, come off a loss. Andy Hirako, we got to get him back in the mix. He's been out there for a minute. All right, 135, Abdullah Mason, WBO champ, coming off a good performance, closing the show against Aberville in his hometown. Now, he has a mandatory Joe Cordina, but Joe Cordina is having legal issues. You know what I'm saying? He might not be able to get into the country. So that's why his fight fell apart and they brought in Albert Bell. So he's up in the air. Alan Chavez, he's going to fight. Look, peep the game though. Alan Chavez is about to fight a southpaw, Edison Garcia from Dominican Republic. Mason is a southpaw. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, maybe if Chavez win that fight, maybe they deem him as the mandatory for Mason, and that would be a hell of a fight. So as it looks now, Mason might be in a voluntary situation where he can go unify or get the biggest fights possible, or maybe just take another defense because his event in Cleveland did real well. So maybe they'll do something like that. But Chavez and Mason would be crazy. Mason against Zapata unification. Oh shit, that'd be crazy too. We still waiting for the WBA with Schofield and Lucas Body. Uh, yeah, bro. And the IBF. Who got the IBF? Oh, Moratala. Moratala about to vacate. So that's going to leave an opening. And look, this is another thing. I have to say this too because, like I mentioned, the WBO and the IBF is doing a unified thing, right? I won't be surprised if they order Mason to fight for the vacant IBF title against the number one contender to be a unification. You know what I'm saying? I won't be surprised. I mean, you never know. I have to throw that out there because the normal boxing fan ain't really gonna tap into that. And you know, of course, y'all know I ain't the normal boxing fan. A little different. So I had to think outside the box because you never know in this boxing game. Should be, you know what I'm saying? Shit, random shit just be happening. Um, Sam Noakes, he is fighting Baranachek. So that might get him closer to a maybe a eliminator or a mandatory situation. That's on Moses undercard. Joshua Pagan, I feel like him and Mason is a solid fight for that region. Pagan is from Michigan. Of course, Mason is from Cleveland, Ohio. So maybe they can do a nice little regional fight right there. You know what I'm saying? Salida is working with top rank. Salida is putting a couple of putting a top rank fighter on their card August 29th in Detroit. So maybe they got some business. They got a structured business model to make a fight, I guess. Yalia Herrera. Now he's the WBC interim champion. A lot of people haven't been talking about him, but the WBC is supposed to order Herrera versus uh, Zepeda. I know people ain't been talking about Herrera, but of course, I have to cover all bases because us boxing fans and these content creators, they go for the low hanging fruit, which means the most popular names. You know what I'm saying? That way they can get clicks and views and shit like that, which is dope because they taking care of their situation. But for the fan like me, you gotta tell me everything, bro. That's why I don't go listen to nobody no more because I don't get what I need. I need everything. You know what I'm saying? Break down the whole landscape. That's why I used to rock with. I used to love T Street Controversy back in the day. Salute to him. This dude, when he used to do his breakdowns, he'd go down the whole division, and I'd be like, hell yeah! So it make you learn some shit. But a lot of days you ain't learning nothing. Only thing you getting is drama. You know what I'm saying? And the low hanging fruit. So when the average fans see that title, they say, "Oh shit, Mason and Zapata next." Yo. But they ain't talked about what hurdles. Like that's the thing with boxing. It's a lot of hurdles, a lot of barriers. It's mandatories. It's promotional situations, and a lot of these guys don't break that shit down. And then when they be coming up short, then nobody they don't get held accountable. So I like to break the whole shit down. I'm trying to learn too. Floyd Schofield fighting for the vacant WBA against Lucas Body. Let's get that on the road. Mark Masayo versus Andres Cortez. That should be on the Ryan Garcia Caliban card coming up September. 130, Emmanuel Navarrete. Now, not sure what's really going on with him. He has a mandatory that's due with Charlie Suarez. He owe him a fight. Charlie Suarez has had a first round knockout on Pro Box in July. So they should do that fight. I'm not sure. I'm hearing that fight might be on the Canelo card. Mexico versus the world. So we're going to see. It also talks with him and Shockey Foster for a 3 belt unification. That's a good fight. We need that one. That's a that's the best fight in the division, and it should happen. They're on the same side, same promoter, so we'll see. But I think Suarez might get his opportunity first. He deserves it. Liam Wilson is number 2. He might be next in line for a world title shot. He got left at the altar by Fulton, who was undisciplined, didn't make the weight. And he missed out on the payday. So hopefully he gets something. Uh, no limit can get him something bigger or a big fight. Cortez, I mentioned him versus Masayo. With Mason and Asano or Chavez for the vacant. What about you? Skip one. What about the number 2 guy? The number 2 guy, Arthur Shagan Khan or something like that, with IBA. He actually won an IBF eliminator. So yeah, I would start with him first before we get to the other guys because he actually won the eliminator. Yeah, so yeah, I start with him first. If he say no, then yeah, go down the line. Let me see. We got Cortez, Ray Ford. He just lost. Nothing coming up. Luis Alberto Lopez. He's fighting on Pro Box. He's coming up. I think he's gonna face Lugo coming up. Should be a fun fight. We seen RBS number 8. We seen him yesterday. I think he's a good young fighter. He's coming. I like him. Sasumi. I think he fought recently. Mancho LeBron. He's been real quiet, but look for him to sign with Salida. Stay tuned. Young Paul Rivera. He's moved up to 130. He's with MVP. So yeah, bro, that's what it is. 126. Rafael Espinoza. He been quiet too. Real quiet. Uh, of course, every time we get to featherweight, we need to see unification with one of these 4 champs. So I'm not sure Espinoza. I know Lorenzo Parra is supposed to be the mandatory. You know, he stopped Pierce in February. That was a nasty knockout. Lugo might KO Venado. If everything ain't on the up and up with his head injury, you never know. That's a tough fight. Lugo gonna bring that shit though. Uh, so Paro, let me see. Omar Trinidad, he's due for boxing. They ordered him to fight Luis Nunez. He called out Angelo Leo. Leo's supposed to have a a homecoming fight in New Mexico in October, so I don't know what's going on with it. Zuffa Boxing is working with IBF because we got an IBF World Title fight on Zuffa next week. So I don't know. Jan Santana, that's a top ranked fighter. Maybe he be in the running for Shushu. If these guys ain't gonna unify, that might be good for these contenders because they might get a title shot. You know what I'm saying? Teach, what's good, bro? Salute to you. Nick Ball, former champ. Nick Ball might Nick Ball might get a big opportunity next. So y'all stay tuned. Cristobal Lorente, he is the WBC mandatory. He said, who's fighting on Zuba for the IBF next week? Aaron McKenna versus Osanu Oliha for the vacant IBF middleweight title. Tap in. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They doing IBF fights on there. You know what I'm saying? That's a big move to have an IBF title fight on a Zuffa show. Uh Cristobal Lorente is Shushu's mandatory WBC. Nick Ball and Shushu. I'm thinking Nick Ball and and Ray Vargas too. Nathaniel Collins got a fight announced against Liam. What's my man's name? I forgot his damn last name. But he gonna fight my man Liam Davies. Damn, my bust. Liam Davies versus Nathaniel Collins. He said, "I see, yes sir." Liam, that's why the Jabataya lawsuit is so relevant. You know what I'm saying? Cheap game. Um, that's an interesting fight. Collins versus Davies. Chop Chop Gonzalez. He need one of these guys in the top 15. Chop Chop Gonzalez versus John Santana kind of make a lot of sense to me. Um, He said, "Yeah, I was thinking Nick Ball was going to do WC route. Yeah, run that back. Might be on Canelo's card. Mexico versus the world. Um, yeah, bro. Chop Chop. I like Chop Chop. He's nice with those hands right there. I would love for him to get an opportunity at Leo, but I don't think that's gonna be in the cards. Maybe he need a couple more fights, but he's definitely. I think he's gonna be up there. 122 anyway, undisputed, only undisputed male champ. I'm not sure if he's gonna fight the rest of this year. Not sure. Um, I guess he waiting for Bam. Bam won't have a fight at the end of the year. Unification. So yeah, I don't know what anyway gonna do. If he probably just take the rest of the year off and chill, because I think he fought like 4 times last year, so he might be cool taking a break, fighting the top of the year. Uh, he got well. I don't think he have mandatories, but eventually he gonna start getting mandatories. Carl James Martin is number 1. John Two, he's out with an injury. So Leo is fighting a tune-up, and now against Omar Trinidad. Bummed out. He declined it. Yeah, we'll see who they pick for Leo, Angelo Leo. I think in his shoes, this if I'm trying to be devil's advocate for Angelo Leo, I think he may have deserved that because it wasn't his fault. He was supposed to fight the South African fighter in February in his hometown. Then Rais Salim jumped the gun and executed his mandatory. Then he didn't make weight. So now this guy out the ring for more than a year. Picasso, that's a good fight. Picasso's at 126. They'll do that at 126 or 22. My Square brother got a solid rank. Brandon did his thing, Grand Prix. Yeah, Brandon's good. I was thinking Brandon was gonna sign with PBC too, like Euricia did. Hmm. Somebody gotta get him. He good. Um, Sam Goodman is fighting Nishida, IBF catchweight. Okay, so like 124. Nishida versus Bobby OG in the building. What's good? Salute to you, bro. Um, Goodman versus Nishida. I said shit like 3 times. They're gonna fight. I forgot the date for that shit. Oh, I don't know if they announced it, but they supposed to fight next. Who you going? I like Nishida actually. I like Nishida. We got Casemiro in there. Shukurkov. I think he's a WBA route. MJ. I don't know what MJ. I did hear MJ name was linked up to Nick Ball, but I'm not sure. Shabazz Masood. That's another guy, bro. He destroyed his momentum. Sebastian Hernandez. I believe he's fighting this weekend, having a tune-up, and then he going to Japan and fight Koyo Kameda. So yeah, I like Sebastian. Um, September 27th. Okay, that's on that Sabu card. We're fighting for the vacant WBC. Hernandez versus Kameda. Winner fighting Casemiro in December. Yes, sir. That's a good fight. I like Hernandez. Moving down, 118 pounds. Christian Medina is a WBO champ. He's supposed to fight Bam, unified with Bam, coming up late November, December. Let's see. Maybe that's a homecoming fight for Bam in San Antonio. Tenshin Nagasawa is number 1, but he about to fight for the WBC against rematch with Tacoma. So let's see if we can get some get back. Tacoma is underrated, good fighter. Jason Maloney, number 3. He might be close to a mandatory position. Take number 2. If Kenshiro were to successfully unify with Maloney and Matsumichi goes up, beats Maloney, do you think we're likely to see? Oh yeah, hell yeah, yeah. Those Japanese fighters don't run from no smoke for sure. That'd be a solid trilogy too, because they both scored knockout wins over each other, and now they. I think Kenshiro's still a little bit past it, but he did have a good performance his last outing. But I think that's definitely possible if they both become champion at 15. Oh yeah, for sure. Let me see. Haven't heard much from Andrew Kane since he since they tried to jump B Figgy. Well, since he tried to jump on B Figgy after the Nick Ball fight. Manny Rodriguez, yo, I'm telling you, I think if he get an opportunity, he can be world champ. He can be world champ. He can be another 2-time champ, 3-time. Kasui, he got a win. He got a win recently in Japan. I watched it. They showed it. Well, they showed it in Japan early in the morning, and then they replayed it on Pro Box. But that was good for him. Michael Angeletti versus he's a mandatory for Jose Salas. I'm thinking that fight gonna be on Fondora's card. In Southern California at the War Grounds. Fondora's supposed to fight October the 17th. Any reason why is this under IBF? I thought Reyes is the champ. Maybe this is a misprint. You know what I'm saying? You know, these guys be fucking up too. They be messing up too. You know. But when you in these rankings though, you'll see a lot of mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Kenshiro, he's the WBO champ, won the vacant title, and a good solid performance over Israel Gonzalez. So he might fight number 2, Kawaru. He might fight him next. I see Sabu going to the WBC route, so maybe they can. I think if any guy in Japan, any fighter in Japan, they'll fight anybody. You know what I'm saying? As long as there ain't no promotional situation, but they'll fight anybody. Oh yeah, he had it, bro. He let that shit slip. A Kui the WBA route. Yeah, he was a former WBA champ. Makes sense. Um, Elijah Juan Acosta, that's a Puerto Rican fighter. Scrappy Ramirez is number 1 in the WBA. He 5 here. Fernando Martinez, haven't heard from him since he lost to Bam. Naquoli is the IBF mandatory, the South African fighter. He beat Charlie Edwards, so he probably get his opportunity in a minute too. Not too far. Because I know they're trying to do Yabuki versus Maloney, but he might have to wait. Jack Turner, big puncher, as a prospect. Let's see what happens when he step up. Number 112, Anthony Oscar his fight fell out. He's supposed to fight Dominguez on that San Francisco card. Then they're supposed to reschedule it for July 24th. Shit got canceled altogether. So maybe they keep that fight intact, or maybe he had to do his mandatory with my square right here. Would be a tough fight, you know. But I like Oscar though, good fighter. We're waiting to see if we're going to get a big fight in 112 for Sandoval and Collazo. I feel like that fight makes sense for the undercard of um, Ryan Garcia, but we'll have to see. I know those guys talking about fighting with Collazo jumping up to fight Sandoval. And that might be his best chance to win because Sandoval is on a long layoff, got some little injuries and shit. He had a mandatory with Galal Ufa, but Ufa is not ready to fight. So, yeah, that should be the play there. 108. So Santiago, Rene Santiago, he's champion recess. Yeah, Buki Maloney is dead. Kamele, okay. Once your deal is over, okay. Damn. Somebody needs to sign Yabuki. I fucks with him. Could you see Collazo and Santiago doing an all Mexican showdown in the near future? I don't know. I heard them talk about that. I'm gonna say no because I think Collazo and Sandoval is on a collision course. And I think once Collazo get up to 112, he ain't coming back unless Santiago go to 112. But right now, Santiago is champion recess with the WBA. He's nursing an elbow injury, so they go. Kira and Canizales is going to fight for that title. That's a good fight. September 2nd. His man too. Okay, yeah. Go ahead and handle that. You go ahead and handle that. I kind of wish Zuffa stuck to their plan and did their own thing. It's hard though. If that was the case, I'm telling you, bro, they would have no events like that because they'll be getting the scraps of fighters that's free agents and not really good fighters and stuff like that. You can do those shows at the Apex Center. That's how it would look. But they got to play ball. They have to play ball until they can get the majority of the top fighters on their stable. Then they can start implementing what they're trying to do. You can't do it now, bro. That's why I was trying to tell people. I was like, why everybody so nervous? They can't just come in and take over like that because they look, your promotion company is only good as your fighters. You know what I'm saying? They give us solid shows, but a lot of those cards is basically the top ranked ESPN card. You know what I'm saying? They like undercards. So it's like it ain't nothing so crazy. They ain't gonna really start to get shit popping until they get all the top guys. That's when shit get crazy. He said PBC, no, you good. He said yoga number two. PGA's big dog, what's good? He's not fighting Santiago. Reggie Singap up in there. I feel you. Yeah, they need. Yeah, he's Blunt Sports. What's good with you? So yeah, Santiago champion recess. Sim Street is a good. He's a good fighter. IBF champ. WBC is my man. I forgot who it is. Japanese fighter. Awata. Awata. Yeah. Oh my bad. Awata just had a good fight in stopping Eric Badilio a couple weeks ago. That was a good fight. Yes, sir. And then we got Colazo at 105 pounds. They can delete this division. All right, so nothing too crazy. I think like the main thing we the main news is welterweight. You know what I'm saying? Just to recap real quick before we close it out. We can stay on and I can stay on, we can chop it up about boxing. It's all good. Any subject is all good. But the biggest news, Brian Norman is back at number one. That don't mean he's the mandatory. He's just at number one. So they gotta do their petitioning and all that shit. Um, Gustavo's supposed to be on Cigar Talk tomorrow with Najee, so y'all tap in. Salute to them. So yeah, tap in, ask your questions and all that shit, and see what's going on. But they dropped Keyshawn to number 7. People are, what I'm saying, putting the nail in the coffin for Keyshawn. I don't know why, because he's in the algorithm. He haven't lost no fight. You know what I'm saying? He's 2-0 this year. He looked damn good in those 2 fights. Um, he just gotta get his business together. It's not like the first time. Devin just did this. Look how Devin bounced back. He bounced back strong as hell by signing with the zone and getting that guaranteed upfront money. He just did the same thing with Rolly. It's kind of different circumstances, but he didn't counter. He didn't counter the offer and say, "Oh, y'all want to do this? All right, fuck it. I'm gonna counter that." He didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? So they basically the same shit, but one get more heat, the other one don't. But with Keyshawn, now he can embrace the villain role. You know, us boxing fans and majority of the content creators and people who push boxing news on a daily basis, they're not disciplined enough to tune out Keyshawn Davis. If he's doing something with his son, somebody gonna be in the comments saying you Doug Devin Haney or you're a fake businessman, whatever. So that right there is gonna forever live. So he can parlay off that and become a villain and say fuck y'all and just run it up. Y'all gonna still tune in, even if you don't buy the pay per views. The new pay per view is talking about the motherfucker every day. Having about 15 tweets and shit like that, doing a 2-3 hour special on your live. That's the new pay per view. You know what I'm saying? Keeping these fighters relevant is better than you buying their pay per view. And we was disciplined enough. And we was disciplined. We wouldn't even say his name. We'll block everything. We'll go to the muted words on Twitter or X and mute Keyshawn Davis, DB3. Man, fans don't. Man, look, fans like somebody to hate. They love somebody to hate. Nobody wants Total Rand, even these Chinese mandatory duck. Damn. Shit. What about the WBC champ? He said, "Yep." So people is writing off like Keyshawn just killed somebody and he on tape doing it and he got his fingerprints and everything. He can. This is boxing. Everybody, look, motherfuckers did way more wild ass shit and got thousands of chances. People saying he don't look. Keyshawn don't have to be nobody's mandatory to get a world title fight. He's in the algorithm. He's going to promote the fight. If you look at this top 15, Keyshawn, other than Manny Pacquiao, he a legend, OG, Hall of Famer. Excluding Pacquiao, Keyshawn is the biggest star. Brian Norman got him. Teofimo got him. Uh, Hitchens, he got him. Hitchens, he's hated too, but the difference is he don't talk a lot of shit. Like he ain't as wild as Keyshawn like that. Keyshawn hit a little different than Hitchens, and Keyshawn put more butts in seats than Hitchens. You know what I'm saying? Barbosa, nope. Rohan Polanco, nope. And so on and so forth. So you mean to tell me with everybody under the same umbrella with the zone, you trying to say Keyshawn, this is a death sentence for him because he turned down a fight? If that's the case, we won't have no fighters. If every fighter turned down a fight because of money, it won't be boxing. Yo, shit's crazy. People taking shit too far. Now, does it hit? Does it hit hard? Yeah, because this dude went to, like I said, I'm the only one that said this term. So if you see it, you hear anybody using my shit, tell them where they know where they got it from. This dude Keyshawn went to Willie Jones' house, stepped all over Stanley's grass, did a whole skit in the whole nine during the NBA All Star Weekend, calling out everybody, beating up all his women. Ain't nobody trip off him. You know what I'm saying? All these other guys. How many times these 80s heavyweights, all these guys on coke, you know what I'm saying? Tyrell Biggs, Tony Tubbs, Greg Page, Michael Dokes, all these dudes. How many times they got Witherspoon? How many times those dudes lost the title and got another opportunity to fight for a world title and was still fighting for world titles? You know what I'm saying? Trevor Burbick, all these dudes. And now Keyshawn Davis ain't done half. The Keyshawn, what he did last year was worse than this. Man, it ain't even DB3 no more. It's just D. You know what I'm saying? Kelvin got released, lost his fight. Probably wasn't even mentally focused for the fight. Um, Keon, one of the best young fighters in the game. Keon is the same age as Xander Zayas, 23 years old. This dude got one fight this year. He got look. Keyshawn put his brothers on, his family on. The sister sang the national anthem. The mom is like the manager, advisor type shit. Everybody got a paycheck, but what he did last year fucked up everything. And what they did, they made him go back and fight Nair Albright. Um, my theory is they made that fight happen so Nair Albright won't press no charges for damages. That's my theory. Cause that fight didn't make no damn sense to happen. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, all he gotta do is if Keyshawn Davis wanted, he can get any fight he damn near want because he's a big name. And everybody's on the one umbrella now. Everybody's on the zone. So the zone, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? No, office hours from 9 to 5 and shit. I don't know how that's gonna work. But I'm just saying, yo. He right now in the public perception, like everybody's on his head. I promise you, if Keyshawn Davis did a live right now, you remember last week he did a live that went viral. That shit went crazy. If he did it right now, it would triple the numbers that he did last week. And he can get on there and not say nothing. He can get on there and be talking to his son. He can get on there and be playing spades. That live would go crazy. You know what I'm saying? It was like that. They seen Teofimo announce his deal. I bet they was like sitting up there like, fuck no. How the fuck they giving out deals now? Nah, go to the zone. Go to him. Because before that, it was Zuffa, Zuffa, Zuffa. We got $100 million deal. You know what I'm saying? So they be doing that shit too. They be capping. And all these fighters do that. You know what I'm saying? They don't all these dudes don't keep that shit a buck all the time. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. It's just what you gonna fall for. But I just want to dead that notion that it's a wrap for Keyshawn. Motherfuckers lose like 5, 6 times to get opportunities. TJ Doheny went to the UK, no, went to Japan, got his back broke. 8, 9 months later, he went to the UK and fought Nick Ball in a new weight class, coming off a knockout loss. Ain't nobody tripping. So if a motherfucker can do that, with can get that type of opportunities, you think a guy like Keyshawn that's not in the algorithm can't do that? Oh, come on, y'all. Y'all don't want him to. That's all it is. Hitchens number 3, shit. That would be. I mean, Hitchens and Devin Haney is a. It's like a chess match, high level chess match that I'll be interested to see. So I thought Hitchens looked good. I think Hitchens is one of the best welterweights right now. I think if he fight like that against everybody, it's gonna be hard to beat him. You know what I'm saying? He got the size and everything. The zone will have to make an offer to Ryan, right? Ryan and Dev, still a big fight. Does the zone have the bag? Yeah, of course. I think they do. Yeah. Um, it depends on. See, I think Ryan is locked in the Golden Boy. Golden Boy is just re up with the zone. Devin is signed with the zone, so that's a the zone fight to me. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't know how much Zuffa will be in the running, but I feel like the zone will invest in the story of Devin versus Ryan because they got a lot of shit to go along with it. Now these guys are they are champions in the same division, and that's the biggest fight in that division. I'm pretty sure it's bound to happen. You know what I'm saying? It's bound to happen sometime. So we'll see. A lot of shit shaking. It's amazing how the welterweight division got back in the mix so quickly. Could you see Hitchinson? Excuse me, Haney Hitchens breaking out into a war at the press conference. Hell nah. You talking about the fight? Nah. No, that's gonna be a tactical fight. Um, Devin may be the aggressor, but they still gonna be basically doing the same type of shit. I don't see it breaking out to no war. And at the press conference, they can talk their shit. You know what I'm saying? Bill and Hitchens can go at it. You know what I'm saying? So I guess, but not in the fight. Breaking, I don't know. It's gonna be a jabbing contest. I think Hitchens got the better jab. It's more consistent to me because Hitchens he's jabbing in the beginning of the fight, the middle of the fight, when ain't nothing going on in the fight. At the end of the fight, like that's if he missed 3 or 4 shots, it go back to the jab. Devin abandons his jab. So if you abandon your jab, how can it be better than the guy that's more consistent? I just do simple math. You know what I'm saying? I don't get into all that back and forth shit. I could though, cause I be waiting for somebody to get some smoke, but I be getting ducked in these streets. That's cool though. We'll keep it straight though. They be running from smoke. They be doing it. They did this shit. They be doing shit Keyshawn did to me. Oh shit, that's some funny shit. But yo, that's my time. Salute to everybody coming through the building though. I appreciate it. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Let me take this off. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe. Let me see. This week we got the WBC ranking should be coming out. Same as the IBF. We got pre-gaming show. We got solid fight week. I'm looking forward to. August is a hell of a month of boxing. Hitchens got popping. Yeah, he do. And Hitchens switched that shit up too. Devin got a good jab too. He's just not consistent as I like him to be. He stopped doing he stopped throwing the jab in the second half of the fight with Norman. So I think Hitchens got a little bit more pop. Yeah, yeah, dudes, they be out here ducking and shit. So yeah, the pre-gaming show coming up because we have some good boxing this weekend in August. It's just a good fight. It's a good fight month. August don't normally be like a crazy fight month, but maybe it's because they're trying to get their shows out before football season. But we got Aaron McKenna against Olaha coming up. That's on That's due for boxing right there. They in Ireland, so they in Ireland back to back weeks. Troy Williamson and Callum Simpson. We got MVP show with the ladies. Shanika Johnson, Dina Thorsland, Desley Robinson versus Tam Taboo. That's for the unified titles at middleweight. I mean, look, I know Carissa Shields and MVP ain't on good terms and shit, whatever the case. But Desley Robinson and Taboo, they fighting for the WBO IBF. A week later, Carissa and Kate Scott are fighting for the WBA and WBC. So it could be a potential undisputed crown